Hey, I'm Dr. Sean J. Harris with Generational Wealth Academy. Let's talk about goals, but not just setting goals. Let's set smart goals. And smart goals have to be realistic and attainable. So many times people don't reach their goals because they place such erroneous, far-fetched goals that you're just not going to hit them. And then when you don't hit them in the time frame which you thought you were because it wasn't a realistic goal, then it diminishes your belief in believing that you ever could have achieved the goal instead of taking them in bite-sized pieces. So let's take a look at the S as it relates to SMART. I like to use acronyms. So let's look at S. S is being specific. You have to be very specific in your goal. You have to ask yourself, what do I want to happen? Why is it important that it's going to happen? So you got to write down that specific goal. Now, when we say a specific goal, we want to look at things such as, hey, look, I want to get a new Hummer H2 or Hummer H1. You can't just say, hey, I just want a new truck. You got to be specific. And more importantly, be specific to the color, the exterior color, the interior color. Why is it important? Okay, so you got to write down details. Let's take a look at the second one. The second one is the M. The M is measurable goals. You got to ask yourself, how will I know if I've achieved this goal? Okay, so again, let's just use the most common goal that many people have is a weight loss goal, perhaps, or to get in shape. Well, you can't just say, hey, I want to lose weight. You got to be specific. Again, it goes back to the S, but it has to be measurable. We can't say we want to lose 10 pounds in 3 hours. Okay, let's get realistic goals that are measurable where we can say, hey, listen, over the next 2 weeks, I want to lose 10 pounds. Well, let's just do some math and break it down and say, hey, listen, I'm going to be able to lose 1.25 pounds or 1.5 pounds a day over the next 14 days. So it's measurable. So when we're like 6 days into it, we should be able to have lost X amount of pounds because it was measurable. Let's take a look at the third, which is A. With A, it has to be attainable. Is the goal realistic? How will I accomplish it? These are the things we have to ask ourselves again. Okay, how can I accomplish the weight loss goal since we're going to use that as an example? You got to ask yourself, how is my diet going to change? How is my workout regimen going to change? How much time will I apply for attainment of that goal? Okay, so that's going to be the third one. Let's take a look at the next one, which is R. The relevancy. Why is my goal even important to me? This is one of the questions you got to ask yourself. Why do I want to lose the weight as a goal? Is it so I can fit in a bikini? Is it because I can be healthier? Is it because I have a wedding I'm preparing for? You got to ask yourself, why do I want to hit this goal? Okay, because when you have an emotional attachment to it, you're going to tend to hit that goal more so than if it was just a fly-by-night. I just want to lose 10 pounds just because. Okay, so the last one of the element is timeliness. What is the deadline of your goal? We have to ask ourselves, okay, I want to make this goal of losing the weight again. I want to lose the 10 pounds. Well, I have a class reunion coming up at the end of the month on the 30th. Today is the 3rd. You have to ask yourself, when is the wedding? I want to fit into my wedding dress. I want to fit into my tuxedo, or whatever that particular goal is. You may be planning a trip to Portugal and you want to learn Spanish in 6 months. So you have to have a deadline to it. Okay, so that's critically important. So let's go over all 6 again, or all 5, I'm sorry. But you want to be able to write your goal down. It has to be specific. It has to be measurable. It has to be attainable. It has to have relevancy, and it has to be timely. Okay, so this chart I'm using, if you want to get a copy of this, just send me a message here wherever you're seeing this link, and I'll send this right to you. Over to the right, you see that you can actually put the date, or the date that you want to reach the goal, or the date that you attain the goal. But we got to be smart when choosing our goals and selecting our goals. Now, along with goals also, we have short-term goals, mid-term, and also long-term. Okay, so you have to be able to focus on all of those goals, but you don't want to just have long-term goals, because if you don't have short wins along the way, you're not going to stay focused to hit the long-term goals. But you don't want to just focus on short-term goals either, because we may not be placing big enough, large enough goals to really push us out there. We've all heard the saying, shoot for the stars. If you fall short, you'll still hit the moon. But if you hit the moon as a target, well, if you fall short, you'll just hit the top of the tree line. Okay, so focus on your goals, write them down. That's one of the most important things to it, goals. You have to write them down. If they're not written down, it's just a desire, it's just a wish. Okay, guys, I'm Dr. Sean J. Harris, and I know that was a great value add.